Hello everybody, my name is Eric and this is Infinite Chronos. You know, it goes without saying that Casio makes some of the most affordable and well-designed watches that are out on the market today. In fact, to prove my point, in fiscal year 2024, the Casio timepiece segment, this is the segment that makes up Casio Standard, G-Shock, Edifice, Oceanus, and even ProTrek. That segment alone had sales of over 167 billion yen. Now, to put that in dollars, that's over $1 trillion. Now, that's a lot of Casios. In fact, if you were to take that $1 trillion and break that down, you could get yourself roughly 21 million Casio Duros. Now, I think that's quite a bit, but it proves my point. These are fantastic watches, and today I'm going to show you some really affordable, awesomely designed and built watches that you can pick up from Casio for well under $100. Let's go check it out. Okay, so our first watch that we're going to take a look at today is the Casio 291WH. This guy right here. Now, on first glance, you're going to notice, and you might think to yourself, it looks a little bit like a G-Shock, the DW5600 line, and I can see how that would be the case. But the measurements here are, the case itself is 46 millimeters, and the lug-to-lug is 48 millimeters. So it's a little bit more square than the DW5600, and the layout is somewhat similar. Now, you will notice that you've got this really kind of cool, interesting little face plate here that's got this crosshatch design, which I find is really nice, and I really do like it. It divides the screen up a little bit easier, and it makes it easier for visibility and for reading. You've got, at the bottom, you've got your time. You've got, at the top left-hand side, you have the day and the date. On the right-hand side, you have a little analog-y looking clock, and then you have the running seconds right in the middle. Now, it doesn't really look like a DW5600 the more you look at it. What I think it looks like is another G-Shock. This would be the GX56TU. Notice some similarities? I do. Anyway, the DW291H is just packed full of features. You're going to get 5 alarms. You're going to get a countdown timer. You're going to get a stopwatch. But one of the things that you're going to get on this 291H is you're going to get a world time. That's right. You can track, I believe it's up to 48 different cities. That's incredible for this watch. You also get 200 meters of water resistance. Now, this watch also has 2 amber LEDs that sit at the lower corners of the watch, and they do a really great job of illuminating the entire face. Now, this does come pretty much, it's all the same color, but you do have some different faceplate options with the 291H. Now, I will say they have another model. This is the 291H, but it has a longer strap and it has double tang on it. And the straps on this one, you know, you'll get them in this kind of camouflagey, and then of course in the black. But I like the double tang on it. It kind of adds a little layer of toughness to it, I guess is the word I would use. But the thing that I don't like is that the strap is a lot longer. So definitely for wearing on the outside of your clothing, or if you have an incredibly huge wrist, you might wear it on that too. But not bad. You can really pick this watch up here for really under 50 bucks right now on Amazon, and I've left the link to that below. So let's go ahead and take a look at our next one. All right, so moving along, let's just say you're the type of person who wants to do a little bit of camping and you're looking for an entry-level field type watch that doesn't break the bank and maybe even have it as a weekend beater. Well, then you want to take a look at the Forrester FT500W. This is a great little watch. It really is. The case measures in at around 39 millimeters. Now, it only weighs 31 grams because the case and the crystal are all resin. And you're not on a stainless steel strap or a bracelet, or you're not even on a strap. It's on nylon with Velcro. This is a really great watch. You have 100 meters of water resistance, and for being only 39 millimeters in diameter, you can really make the numbers out on this watch really well. And that's because of one of the things they did with the crystal is they kind of domed it in a way that it magnifies the actual dial face. Now the dial face is absolutely so easy to read. The Arabics are just well done, very legible. I can't say enough about that. Now I do prefer the cream dial. It has a couple of other different dials. And there's a black one with black numbers, but I kind of think that defeats the purpose of having that, but you might like that. I don't know. But again, for 33 bucks, you get 100 meters of water resistance on this, and you do get a date, and you don't have any lume on this watch at all, not once. But you do have this really, really bright amber LED at the 6 o'clock position. And when you activate the light stays on for about 4-ish seconds or so, but instead of just cutting out completely, it fades out, which I think is an interesting touch. I like that. So it lets you see the time for just a touch longer. I think overall, you're going to put this on your wrist, you're going to forget it's even there. That's how light this is. And did I mention it's 100 meters of water resistance? That is so much better than a Timex Expedition could ever get to. And for 33 bucks on Amazon, oh, come on. This just, again, another great watch that Casio has put out. Let's take a look at our next one. All right, so here's our next Casio. This is the AE 1500 WH. Now, I hear an awful lot about this watch, and I can see why. This is an enormous watch. It comes in at about a 45 millimeter case diameter and approximately 50 millimeters lug to lug. This is a big watch, and it is so awesome. The entire face of this watch, the entire LCD screen, is taken up by the time, by the date, and by the running seconds on this. This watch is just, it's really a nice looking weekend beater type of a watch. Now, what are you getting with this watch? You are getting 5 alarms, you are getting a timer, you are getting a stopwatch, and you also get on this watch dual time. That's right, so you can track time in another time zone. So this is not a world time, but it is a dual time, so you can set that for another time zone if you'd like to track that. This is a fantastic beater weekend type watch. You have 2 amber LEDs, again, at the lower portions of the watch itself. They light up really well, and I just think overall, 100 meters of water resistance on this watch too, I might add. Overall, this is a really great watch. It has a very G-Shock look to it as well, without being a G-Shock. So you're getting a lot of watch for, again, not a lot of money. Again, proving that Casio really does know what they're doing when it comes to designing these watches and making them so affordable for everyone to pick up. And by the way, it comes in about 2 or 3 different colors, and you have a positive and a negative display. Now, I personally opt for the positive display because the negative display can be a little tough to read for me, but you might have no issues. So if you're in the market for something like this, pretty cheap, you're probably about the $25, $30 price range for something like this, you might want to go check one of these out. Let's go take a look at our next one. Okay, so here is our next watch. This is the Casio AE 1200, the Royale. Now, this watch was released back in 2012, and it does have the distinct honor of being associated with James Bond, even though it never appeared in any of the James Bond movies. So, how did it get this association? Well, there was a watch that was worn by Roger Moore as James Bond, the Seiko G757, and it has a very similar look to the AE 1200. However, the AE 1200 is an international spy watch all on its own. There is a really big modding community built around the AE 1200. and it's easy to see why. This is such an amazing, awesome watch. Right out of the gate, you are getting 5 alarms, you are getting your countdown timer, and you're getting your standard stopwatch that you do pretty much with all Casio watches. But with this watch, you are also getting a world time that can track 4 time zones and 48 cities. Now, that is really a great watch if you're going to be an international spy. And it's really cool because you also have a little world map located on the face of the watch. And in the upper left-hand corner, you'll see a small watch dial. Now, something really interesting about this is on the main screen, when you are using one of the other times or time zones, the upper left-hand screen will show you the time in your home time zone. That's pretty cool, right? Now, it also has these really nice 2 amber LEDs at the bottom at the bottom corners, and they really illuminate the watch very, very well. The square case is just a fantastic design, as it really allows for a lot of space for you to put a lot of information. Right on the front, you're going to get your time, you're going to get your day and your date, your running seconds. It just is really a great watch overall, and you can pick one up on Amazon for about 30 bucks. Now, it also comes on a stainless steel bracelet, and for that you can probably get about $34 to $40 depending. Now, I will say the stainless steel bracelet, it's not quite so good, but it's okay. And it's not a stainless steel case, it's just a resin case that's been painted to look chrome. But I think overall, if you're looking for a great international spy type watch, or actually if you're just looking for a nice world time watch and you don't want to break the bank and you don't want to spend a ton of cash, you really should take a look at the AE1200. Okay, so now we come to what I think is arguably the best Casio standard that they make. I'm talking about the MDV 106, the Duro. This is such a fantastic watch. I can never say enough good things about it. It's got an incredible price point at around $54, and you are getting just a fantastic hell of a great looking dive type watch. These are just absolutely awesome watches. But let's take a look at it a little bit more. So, what are you getting? Well, you get 200 meters of water resistance. You get a screw down crown. You get a stainless steel case. You get a screw down case back with an etching on the back. Who gets that for $54? You also get at the 6 o'clock this really nice printing of a marlin, really nice touch. You get these incredible sunburst dials. It comes in a bunch of different colors. You get a 120 click bezel, and you get an aluminum bezel insert. Now, this is so awesome. Did I mention that the Rehot has the indices on it as well? I actually took advantage of the space, and with so many choices of colors and bezel design, it is just an absolutely fantastic watch. In fact, I have this one in black and another one in blue, and I went to Island Watch and I picked up these really nice looking FKM rubber straps, and I swapped them out, and I really think this elevates the look of this watch. You've got a nice deployment clasp on it. It's just such a great looking touch, and there's no doubt about it. I really like the MDV 106. It is just a great buy at $54. How can you go wrong? Okay, so you can see just by these few watches that I've shown you, Casio really does make some incredible watches for really affordable prices, and they make them for everybody. So why don't you do me a favor, leave me a comment, let me know what your favorite Casio standard is. Now I'm only doing Casio standard, so maybe someday I'll do Edifice or G-Shock or something. If you'd like to see me do one of those, leave a comment below, let me know all about it. And while you're there, please consider leaving a like and subscribe to my channel for more content like this. Now, I totally get this is just the beginning, and so if you're looking for more watches like this, we couldn't pack them all in a video, so what I did is I put them all right over here for you.